Hey, and welcome to Fit Me Turo Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode. Hey there, and welcome back to the Fit Me Turo Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Turo Virta, and today's episode is especially for every woman who wants to build lean muscle, feel stronger, and look more toned without spending hours in the gym. So we are going to debunk the myth that you need to train 5 or 6 times a week to make real progress. If you have ever thought, I just don't have the time to train like those fitness influencers, this episode is for you. So let's talk real life strategies that actually work. So if we get started with the myth of more is better. So the truth bomb is that more isn't always better. Better is better. And there is this common belief that unless you are training 4 to 6 times a week hard, you won't see any changes. And but for the most busy women I coach, moms, professionals, caretakers, that's just not realistic. But the good news is, it's also not necessary. What actually builds muscle isn't endless workouts. It is what actually helps is consistent strength training, smart programming, recovery, and eating enough, especially protein. So, because you can build 100% muscle and tone your body with as little as 2 to 3 strength sessions per week. So, because that is the most common mistake, that it's just the number in your head. It's a good real life example. One of my clients who set a goal that she need to strength train 3 times per week, and she said that now she takes a break because she's able to work out only 2 times per week. But I was like that, oh my God, do you understand that this expectation, it's only in your head? What actually helps now, if you take a break and because you are only able to train you because of your other commitments, family, business, work, you can't train 3 times per week, but you are consistently training 2 times per week. And if you don't have this plan, you are just trusting your motivation, and more often than not, the cycle is going like that. You are telling yourself, because I know it's hard. That's how we talk ourselves, how I talk to myself too. That if I don't have 3 times a week time, it's not worth of it. But and I was this person earlier, but how wrong I was. Now when I set some goal for once a week, 2 times a week, in the best weeks, maybe 3 times a week, but never more. But what actually helps is that you have a plan. Your nutrition, and my nutrition is supporting my goals. I make sure I recover and I make most out of that time, because I know that is realistic. I have a plan, what I'm following. I'm focusing on quality over quantity, and I don't trust my motivation. So when you have that plan, and like this woman who said that 2 times a week is too little, so she's getting back on it when time is better, when she can again train 3 times per week. They said that if you and she was then considering her thoughts because actually 2 times a week strength training in a busy period of life is amazing progress. It's not a setback. It's not that you are going down for something, because if you think that what is the alternative is that you are not training, maybe you think that, okay, I do some random workouts every once in a while, I'm active. But once you keep going that, you are starting to realize that, oh, this is not working. I'm not actually, if you rely on your motivation, it's not going to work for a long period of time, maybe short period of time, but it's never going to be a long-term game. So the key is here to stay actually consistent and adjusting your own expectations, because this is not about perfection. Perfection, that is a very big enemy, is that all or nothing thinking. And adjusting your own expectations. Like if you are in a situation that you think that now I have time only once in a week, that is actually a progress. When you hit that one time in a week consistently, it means that honestly, you might be even able to see some kind of progress. Obviously, one time in a week, it's not realistic to expect amazing progress. But during this time, progress isn't always that it's not worth of it, because progress at this time is actually maintaining your results. One time in a week, with a good program, you are able to maintain everything. And then when time gets better, when you have more time, life is not that busy as it is now, you are able to make more progress. And it's totally different starting point when you have to cover or getting back on where you used to be, when you have that higher starting point. So maintaining your progress is also a progress. So that is a huge mindset shift, and just with the 2 to 3 strength sessions, you are able to make progress. So then, one of the most common mistakes or things what I hear is that when we say that we want to build muscle, a lot of women hear that I don't want to get bulky. And let me reassure you, you won't get bulky, not accidentally. So building muscle, especially as a woman, takes time and intention. And because if you think that you are suddenly getting bulky, one of my favorite phrases is to tell someone who is scared of getting bulky. I said that, okay, if at some point you see in the mirror some bodybuilder and you think that you are too muscular, you can always stop strength training. You can always shift your focus. And it just don't happen by accident. Because if you would know how many women or how many men are there trying to get bulky, but they are not able to get, because some of these things are missing. You need to have nutrition that supports your goals. You need to have right volume, right load, and if you don't have all these in your program or thought, it's going to be hard anyways. So don't be afraid of getting bulky. What because when you are building muscle, what you actually notice is that you feel more toned, because being more toned or building muscle, it's the same thing. It's just a different name. It's just that most influencers, marketers are using that muscle toning program instead of muscle building program. But it means exactly the same thing. So what it means, it's that you are getting stronger, you are improving in your workouts, you are able to use more weight, you are able to do more repetitions. it all means that your muscle is getting more hard, and in other words, you are getting more toned. What also you will notice, your clothes will fit better, your metabolism is going to improve because muscle needs more energy, and you need basically, the best example is that when you build muscle, you think that I'm focusing on, if for example fat loss is a goal, you are focusing on burning calories. But what most people don't think, that when you build that muscle, you are building your body kind of machine who is building, who is burning more calories while you are resting. So if you have more muscle mass, it's not very rare to see that somebody is burning 150 to 400 calories more during the day without doing anything. And in the other words, if you think that that is, like, let's say that 300 calories more per day, if you are able to build that much, it's like doing an half an hour cardio session every single day without actually doing it. Also, you will have more energy. Your everyday tasks, like lifting groceries or carrying the kids, feel easier. This is all about function and confidence, not size. And those are for me, those are the best examples, are real life examples. Like with the women who I work with, the best examples, what they are able to open some chore puddle or glass with their own hands. They are able to lift their luggage in a plane. They are able to hike first time ever having without taking a breath. You are able to carry groceries. If you, like one of my clients said that earlier, it was always her husband who was carrying all heavy objects, all heavy bags, and now she's like that. Oh, give me that bag, let me carry it, and she's actually stronger than her husband. And those are for me kind of real life example why this strength training matters, why it's so valuable. Because it might feel like that for maybe some younger males, they are asking how much you are bench pressing, nobody cares. But for me and for most of my clients, it's those real life examples, what you are able to do more, what you maybe haven't been able to do maybe ever in your life. And now through that resistance training, you are able to do things what you were never able to do, or you didn't even believe that it would be possible for you. So then what is the minimum effective dose for muscle growth? So here is where things get practical. If your goal is to build muscle without living in the gym, here is your minimum effective strategy. So train 2 to 3 times a week with full body strength workouts. So this is one of the most common mistakes, or what I see is that if you are not some bodybuilder, if you look social media, there is all kind of different splits. Like I don't say they are bad. It always depends how many times, what is you are able to work out, what is your goal. If you are not a bodybuilder, some body part strength training is not the best possible way, I would say. Because what is the best way to actually do it is that you are training full body. And I'm a big believer and for full body workouts, because when the life happens, like let's say that you are doing some body part split, which means that you are training, for example, upper body, lower body, full body sessions in a week, and or push pull legs, which means just working different parts of your body in a different workouts. And these splits, they work in a cases that you work several times a week. So you have, for example, if you train your upper body, then you want to train next day, you can train your legs because your upper body might be needing actually recovery. But if you do it if you do it the next day, it's in those cases. But if you have a possibility that you have a 1 day rest in between, full body workouts are the best, because in the worst case, like let's say that life happens, you are missing one workout. And if you are having upper lower body split and you miss one workout, it might mean that you don't train for 2 weeks your upper body, if that happens to be upper body or lower body. But if you do full body workouts, the worst case, you still train your full body and you don't have so long rest time or so long break for training that muscle. And like always, consistency beats the perfection always. So what exercises you should be then focusing? So the best exercises to focus are compound exercises. Compound exercises mean like that where you are using several muscles in a same exercise. So examples are squats, lunges, rows, presses, deadlifts, and you should prioritize quality over quantity. And the next important thing is progressive overload. So you might have been hearing about it. What it means, that it means increasing either weights, reps, or time under tension slowly over time. And it doesn't mean maybe in the beginning, if you are new in a strength training, you are able to add every single week something, but then more experience after 3 to 6 months of strength training, it doesn't happen every week. It doesn't, it's impossible. And those changes, realistically, they are like that you are maybe able to add every other week, a little bit weight, do maybe one more rep. If you do, let's say, 3 sets, you are maybe able to do 1 to 2 more repetitions in one exercise if on of one of those sets. So this is how it changes depending on your experience. But you don't need new workouts every week. You need progression. And part number 3, or tip number 3, is recovery matters. So your muscles don't grow while you are training. They are growing while you are recovering. So what happens during the strength training is that you are actually causing damage to your muscles, and then your muscles are repairing. You need a recovery. But obviously, if you miss that part of damaging your muscles, only recovery won't help to build your muscle. But during the strength training, you are not building that muscle. Muscles are not growing while you are strength training. They grow while you are recovering. So that's why sleep, rest days, and nutrition, they are all part of that muscle building puzzle. And then about the nutrition, don't skip your protein. So aim to 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight. So that's around 100 to 130 grams per day for many women. And protein is a raw material for muscle, so don't leave it out. And if you are like most women I work with, they say that I'm eating a protein. But if you have no idea how much protein you are actually eating, track it for a week and see, because most women who I work with who are telling me when we start to work together is that they are eating, but I'm eating protein. And once they start to track, they might realize that, oh, I'm eating 40, 50 grams. There are very few who are eating 60 grams of protein. And then when you are saying that, oh, you should actually double it. And how you're doing it, you are not, obviously, it's going to be almost impossible to double it overnight, but with small, sustainable steps, you are getting there, learning new ways how to think on your each meal. What is my protein source? Where I'm going to get it? How I'm going to build? What kind of habits I have? Like, for example, if there is protein missing from my breakfast, what could I be adding? And once you start to use these small steps, adding 10, 15 grams of protein more per each meal, you are slowly, step by step, getting close to your goal, and you will see that then in results in your workouts and in your body. So how then to make this work in a busy life? Let's be honest, because time is limited. So how you can actually fit this in? So keep your workouts relatively short. So most people who train with me are working out 30 to 45 minutes. There are a few that work out hour, but most of them are on 30 to 45 minutes. So you can also train at home or at the gym. What is the easiest for you to stick with? So most of my clients are working out from home because it's too time consuming to go actually to gym. But obviously some people like to go to gym. You have kind of appointment with yourself to go to gym if you don't have, but you don't need a lot of different machines, or if you have a pair of dumbbells, some resistance bands, or to get started, body weight is also great. Later on, it's if you have adjustable dumbbells, that's basically all you need. What you really need is a structured plan, and not those structured plan is not some random YouTube workouts, because that is, even if you are beginner, doing something is always better than nothing. And I'm sure I have worked with several people who say that they are following this fitness influencer from YouTube, doing their workouts, but think it that those workouts, they are not, if you think how social media is working nowadays, it's not that they are not often. If I would do as an influencer, I'm not calling myself, by the way, influencer, but let's say that if I would like to get maximizing all views, everything, and I would do basically kind of basic stuff like squats, stuff like that, they are not getting a lot of attention. It's not that they are not working, but they are just, people have seen them so often that you don't get a lot of views. And how those influencers then make money is that they get more views. And to get more views, you have to create some kind of new things, what maybe people haven't seen so often. And it means that those workouts are probably not the best ones, what you actually should be doing. But until you get your views, you get people who are buying into your programs, your goal, you have reached your goal. And that is kind of what is sad in this fitness thing, is that all views, all clicks, they are money. And if you don't do it, you are not getting it. So if you get in the beginning, I'm sure it doesn't matter whatever you start doing, you will see progress, but you are seeing a lot better progress if you have a structured plan. And I don't honestly know any YouTuber who is doing amazing job with the workout. So because I wouldn't share my workouts in YouTube, because it would be probably boring to watchers to put those things. And it's because it's always, you have to have, it's personalized. So how I nowadays plan a lot of my workouts, because I'm a big fan of AI. And AI is, you can use ChatGPT, get the workout plan. And but there's also, like with the AI tools, what I have been using, it's often doing exercises what I wouldn't agree with. Like most of those plans are okay, but then you get written exercises. Okay, you search them, what is this exercise? And now in my workout app, is the way how to actually do it. You write, I give a prompt, what equipment, what is your goal? If you have injuries, if you have what equipment you have access to, and how many days a week. And this is how I get individual workouts for each person. But as I said, it's AI. I'm sure it's getting better, but it's still not. There are some exercises as a coach, I'm looking like that. Oh, this I would never choose. It's okay, but it's still not how I would like to have it. And but it's with very few adjustments, we are having pretty good and pretty solid plan, and it's very good, especially for injuries, or if you have some weaknesses, weak areas, what you want to focus on, so you get relatively easy a plan. And that is what I'm using. I'm starting as this episode is coming out on Monday, June 16th, next 8-week challenge, where you basically, it's all about that information, what you are getting, you are using. I'm using right prompt. I ask you questions, how many workouts, what equipment you have access to, injuries, and so on. And within this information, my AI coach is building a plan. It's coming relatively quickly. I look at it. I make needed adjustments, as I said, because some things are still not the most optimal. And this way, you get individual workout plan. So more information, you can sign up and join for waitlist, or if registration might be already open when this episode is coming out. So I will put link to show notes if you are interested to get individual structured workout plan created by AI, and with my personal look how it's going to be individualized, that it makes actually sense. And then in a real life, what actually works is to schedule your workouts like appointments. So those are non-negotiable events. So I'm putting my own workouts. They are in my calendar. They are non-negotiable events for myself. So that is the time when I need to get started with my workout. It doesn't mean that I have to finish it, but that is the promise I make for myself week by week, that this is the time when I get started. And once I get started, I only need to do one set of the first exercise. If after that I feel like that, I'm not motivated, I'm busy, I don't have time, then I have permission to stop. But at least I feel so much better when I get started. And more often than not, I will do maybe second exercise, maybe third. And even if I don't get whole workout done, I still have done something. So, because even 2 focused sessions per week done consistently, they can create amazing results over time. So, because you must remember, it's not about what you do in one perfect week. It's what you repeat for the next 3, 6, or 12 months. And here is a good real life example. So 2 weeks ago, I had an amazing guest, Sanna, in my podcast. So if you haven't listened to that episode, it was published on May 22nd, from fatty liver to strength training, how Sanna reclaimed her health at 42 is the episode name. And Sanna is 42. She works in a medical field, has a child at home. And when we started, she wasn't going to the gym and thought strength training wasn't for her. She was doing random workouts, but and she was really scared of going to the gym and never worked out, was scared of machines because of her past experiences. And we started with the 2 workouts a week using simple exercises. And fast forward 6 months, she has lost almost 10 kilos of weight, gained visible toned muscle, and feels more confidence. And she loves strength training now, all without a 5-day gym routine. This is what happens when you keep it realistic, structured, and sustainable. So, couple most common mistakes to avoid before we wrap up this episode. So, few mistakes I often see. So, it's mistake number 1 must be doing too much cardio and too little strength training. So, cardio is great for heart health, but it doesn't build muscle. With the cardio, you are burning more calories during the workout. In the long term, if fat loss is your goal, strength training should be the foundation of your training. And then cardio is kind of addition. And the best way to burn more calories is not some going for a run or something. It's just zone 2 cardio. What is actually for me, it is fast walking, because that boosts it helps to recover faster. It's not too demanding for your body. And if you try to do kind of everything at the same time, it's getting too much for your body. Then mistake number 2 is changing your workouts too often. So stick to the basics, repeat, and that means you are progressing. So don't do some random workouts all the time. So it's you have to have that structured plan. And mistake number 3 is training without intention. So lifting and using the same weights for months won't lead to new results. So you have to use that progressive overload, push yourself. And this is especially for the women. Most of the women, they could be using so much more heavier weights. And if you are not, you have to add something or aim to add something. Obviously, like I said, it's not going to happen every single week. It may be in the beginning, yes, but you don't have to be scared. And changing also your repetitions. So sometimes you are doing, let's say, 5 repetitions with heavier weights. And then next month you are going to do 15 repetitions with lower weights. So kind of mixing everything with the heavier weights, less repetitions, and lower weights and more repetitions. So this kind of mix is giving you the best possible results while doing less workouts. So try to use these different approaches, because if you do the same thing, same amount of repetitions, your body is very adaptive. And to avoid this, I like to call it a kind of training smarter, not harder. And that's why you have to train with the intention and changing amount of weights, amount of reps. And mistake number 4 is neglecting protein and recovery. So you can't outtrain poor nutrition or lack of sleep. So those 2 things you have to have in part of your routine. So let's recap this episode. So if you want to build muscle and feel tone, you don't need to live in the gym. What you need is 2 to 3 consistent, smart strength training sessions per week, protein-rich meals, plan that fits to your lifestyle, not the other way around. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent enough to see results that last. So thanks for tuning into the Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast. If this episode helped you shift your thinking or made you feel seen, take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram. Tag me at personal trainer_Turo. I would love to hear what clicked for you today. And if you are tired of trying to figure this all out on your own, go to personaltrainerturo.com/coaching and let's chat about how we can work together to build strength without the overwhelm. See you in the next episode. And remember, strong doesn't have to mean busy. It just means intentional.
Hold up, friend. Do you love Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast.